Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of Freedom Friday here on the Ohio Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot, and for today's episode, we're going to discuss all of the two-way wins that we've had in the last couple of days. I wish we've had a lot. We've had a bunch of different ones. We're also going to discuss the most recent update of that piece of shit shooter in Michigan, the fucking punk ass kid who dumbass parents bought him a gun for Christmas or whatever it was that year, a couple years ago. And they went on a school rampage, a bunch of students at the school, and of course, Michigan being the fucking shithole it is, did away with death penalty there years back, and also did away with felony murder that state back in like the 80s or 90s, I think is what it was. So, yeah, parents would be tried with that as what it is, even though they should have been. But yeah, his sentencing finally came down now, of course, because you don't have a death penalty in the state of Michigan. He gets life imprisonment there. So we'll discuss that for quite a little bit. Here's what it is. But yeah, we've had a bunch of 2A wins in the last week or so here. You've had standard capacity magazines, the bans on those be deemed unconstitutional. You've had Supreme Court rule, or wait, was your Supreme Court or certain court? I forget which one offhand, but one of the courts ruled the 18 to 20-year-old ban on buying guns is unconstitutional. You've had a bunch of other ones here and there, various things. And then, of course, you have other stuff coming out here, too, as well. And then we got a bunch of other things, to talk about here relating to all the attacks on guns at this point, all the attacks on Second Amendment rights here in this country currently, which one of them we're going to talk about right here is this particular story that I found, I think it was yesterday, day before that. Hang on. Gotta grab this real quick. All right, sorry. My mom's friend was calling up asking about updates. So I had to take that. But yeah, needless to say, she's doing better, from my understanding. I mean, she's going to be in the hospital a couple more weeks, better than that. But she's doing good, though. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, though. So the attacks on the Second Amendment, you got fucking Congress doing all kinds of shit. You got Elizabeth Warren and company, dumbass, retard Hank Johnson, the fucking idiot that represents Atlanta, Georgia, who literally talked about Guam flipping over as one of the primary sponsors of that stupid ass community bullshit that they call it, that we were talking about yesterday, which is nothing more than an attack on the Second Amendment at this point, where they're trying to basically ban everything, do 7-day waiting periods, universal background checks, everything that would basically get your tyrant asses killed at this point in history. So, and then of course, adding insult to injury, you have this fucking horse shit right here, which is activist nuns buy stake into Smith & Wesson are now suing gun manufacturer to ban the manufacture of AR-15 style rifles. Such a bunch of unconstitutional crap entirely, dude. And this is exactly what I've said before, dude. This is exactly why if you're buying shares into a company, stuff like that, you should not be allowed to legally do shit like this is what it is right here. Anyways, this group of activist nuns filed an unusual shareholder lawsuit to pressure gun manufacturer Smith & Wesson to drastically change its way it markets, makes, and sells its popular version of AR-15 rifles. Said so-called shareholder derivative action, which the nuns filed in Nevada state court Tuesday against public traded Smith & Wesson, alleges that the company leaders are putting shareholders at risk. Not, you fucking lying bitches. So they argue that the leaders are exposing the company to liability by the way that they make and sold the rifle, which has been used in several mass shootings in recent years. You know who else had a actual self-defense encounter with Smith & Wesson's guns? Kyle fucking Rittenhouse, bitches. I also do want to point something out, too, by the way, that here's an interesting statistic for you for the day here, people. And this is something we found out about earlier today, actually, which is literally when you start looking into all the so-called mass shootings that happened this year, what it is, at school shootings and stuff like that. Shocker, majority done by black students. By a shitload compared to white, Hispanic, and Asian. And then when people were actually talking about it earlier today on X/Twitter there, I'm going to go ahead and find this post real quick here, where you have the actual stat breakdown of this whole thing, and you have the offenses of people listed. Yeah, overwhelming majority of U.S. school shooters this year were not white. You didn't hear about this from the media because it does not fit their racist-ass narrative. But yeah, when you start looking at these stats right here, it's like black, 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 black. Yeah, like pretty much everywhere it is what it is there. Yeah, you got black, 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 white, Hispanic, black, Hispanic, black, 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 white, black, 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 Asian, black, 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 blah, 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 black, all the way down there. Hispanic, another black, and then the final one is white there. And that last one was the University of Nevada, Las Vegas shooter, which was the guy from, who was a crazy-ass professor guy who was all about Soros and shit like that, what it is. So, yeah, needless to say, it busts their fucking narrative up real motherfucking quick, bitch. So, yeah, I love how they call these school shootings when you look at the actual narrative thing here. It says one student was shot, and that was according to CNN stuff. 28-year-old former student, child was shot, man was fatally shot. It's funny to me, too, because even those don't qualify as mass shootings either, because, again, it's supposed to be 4 or more dead, not 3 or more shot, or just, like, 1 or more shot, and that would be the case. So, and then we had this piece of interesting news here, which was, this happened the other day, where you had some crazy bitch on the floor of Congress bitching and moaning, where the NRA blast doctor who testified before Congress in gun violence hearing, calling her a gun control extremist, because she is. So the NRA fired back at Yale School of Public Health Dean Megan Reines claimed during the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing last week that Republican-controlled areas are most plagued by shootings compared to blue cities like Chicago, which is absolutely fucking lie, by the way. That woman is a lying cunt off her fucking ass right now. And it can be proven, even here in Ohio, dude. You look at where Ohio is as a red state right now, and you look at where the most violent areas are for gun crime in the state. Shocker, it's Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Toledo, Dayton, Akron, Canton, all run by fucking piece of shit Democrat mayors and Democrat city councils, a lot of which are run by fucking minority mayors and Democrat city councils. Specifically, you got Cleveland run by that fucking stupid motherfucker Justin Bibb, who's a black guy. You got fucking Akron now being run by some fucking Muslim piece of shit. You got that fucking douchebag down in Cincinnati who's some fucking Indian asshole. And then you got fucking Columbus that's run by that fuckstick Andrew Ginther, who's the only white boy among them all, is what it is there, dude. But they're all scumbags, is what it is, dude. They're all the worst pieces of shit in fucking office right now. And they all continue to attack Ohio's constitutional carry laws, they'll continue to attack Ohio's stand your ground laws, etc. Yet meanwhile, if they really wanted to fix their fucking cities, dude, they would go after the goddamn criminals who are doing this shit. They go after the fucking Kia boys that are posting their fucking crimes all over the fucking internet and actually bust these fucking assholes as adults then. Instead of letting them off at fucking 16, 17, 15, whatever it is, as fucking juveniles. Give them a slap on the wrist and let them back on the streets again to do it again fucking 5 minutes later. Or the one woman down in Columbus who actually is a black woman to a black son and legitimately told the cops, she's like, please arrest this kid and keep him locked up because he's going to do this again. This kid has done at least 150 fucking carjackings in the last year. And it's like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, how is this dude not in prison as an adult right now in the state of Ohio? It just fucking blows my mind, honestly. It's just insane, bro. And then, of course, you got this shit right here with that fuckface over in New York there. Democrats' choice to replace George Santos as lukewarm on abortion violated federal law over 300 times with his stock trade, so literally committing insider trading is what it is. Also, once said Florida, don't say gay bill is common sense. That retard in question there being ex-congressman Tom Suzuzu, who should be in prison right now for literal insider trading is what it is, dude, 300 times over. Yeah, it's a Thursday. Local party bosses nominated former Rep. Tom Suzuzu for the job, putting him up against a yet-to-be-named Republican candidate on February 13th for the special election hearing. There's what it is, to replace Santos. It's such a bunch of shit entirely, dude. Democrats shouldn't even get a fucking say who they're going to throw up there at all, dude, for special elections. Fuck them. You don't hold that seat anymore. You did dick, bitch. It's as simple as that, really. And then the last article we got to talk about currently in this episode, which is not going to be super long here, which is basically, hang on, if I can find here, which is Ethan Crumbley sentenced to life in prison without parole for killing 4 students in Michigan school shooting. This kid looks like a piece of shit, too. This kid just looks fucking evil, dude. Like, this dude looks like a fucking Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy type, honestly. Like, he just looked pure evil is what it is, dude. Yeah, it's a teenager, Ethan Crumbley, sentenced to life in prison without parole Friday for gunning down 4 classmates and wounding 6 others and a teacher at Michigan's Oxford School in 2021. By the way, ever since 2021, that piece of shit cunt Gretchen Whitmer has now used this fucking school shooting to push for every anti-gun piece of legislation to push through the Michigan General Assembly since that's what it is, dude. And of course, you have the douchebag Bloomberg paid puppets who now got into office as various state reps. There's what it is now, which should have been disqualified on the spot when we were running because they had Bloomberg dark money funding their entire campaigns. Is what it was there. Anyway, says dismissing last-minute defense pleas from Crumbley's that Crumbley's life sentence is life is salvageable, which is not, by the way. That, like I said before, dude, this is the kind of piece of shit right here that should have already been killed. This kid should have already been given a fucking death penalty by firing squad at this point in history, honestly, dude. For real. We must kill pure evil. End of fucking story, dude. And that's how this kid needs to die. He killed people by a gun. He needs to die by the fucking gun is what it is. Legitimately. Anyway, continuing on here, it said, claimed his life was salvageable. Oakland County Circuit Court Judge Kamimi Rowe noted that the defendant, in his own words, told the court this is nobody's fault but his own. Said Rowe said victim Justin Schilling, 17, was shot at point-blank range after being told by the defendant to get on his knees. Hannah St. Julia, 14, was shot a second time after she was down. Crumbley said, quote, to finish the job by shooting her again. Said, and I quote, this is an execution. That is torture. That is execution. That is torture. He shot most people multiple times, and as he wrote, he did this for notoriety and wanted to go down as one of the biggest school shooters in Michigan history. Or sorry, as the biggest school shooter in Michigan history. Again, this is why you fucking kill this kid. You don't give him life imprisonment, dude. You fucking execute him publicly by a fucking firing squad. Says at the defense table, Crumbley, 17, looked down at the judge addressing the courtroom. Before sentencing, Crumbley told the judge, I am a really bad person. I have done terrible things that no one should ever do. Whatever the sentence handed down, he added, I do plan to do better, or to be better. Said Crumbley has become the first minor to receive an original sentence of life without the possibility of parole following the 2012 U.S. Supreme Court ruling, which found sentencing a child to life without parole is excessive for all but the rare offender. So according to court documents in the case, by the way, these are the 4 kids he actually killed right here. So you got, let's see, top left here was that Hannah girl. Then we had top right is Justin Schilling. Bottom left is Tate Murray, and bottom right is Madison Baldwin, who was the 4th kid he killed. So yeah, All 4 of these kids, by the way, would have actually gone on to do better things than his piece of shit ass would have done. That's the whole problem there, dude. This piece of shit took away 4 lives of 4 better students than his ass was. Of people who weren't pieces of shit. Of people who had aspirations of a better life, of a better future, of making America a better place in the long run. And yet this fucking cocksucker right here is going to be given life imprisonment? Fuck that. Give him a fucking firing squad. Give him the same fucking firing squad he gave all 4 of these innocent people right here, man. Anyway, so the sentence caps an emotional, hours-long hearing that began with a statement from the mother of the shooting victim, Madison Baldwin, which is this girl right here. That's a Baldwin, 17, a high school senior who did not live to graduate in 2021. Said Nicole, not sure how to pronounce that woman's last name, claimed, describing seeing her daughter's lifeless body in a steel room on a cold gurney, her fingernails blue and her hair smeared with blood. She said, quote, "That is not my daughter," recalling thinking as she delivered the first victim impact statement at the sentencing hearing for Crumbley, who gunned down 4 classmates and wounded 6 others and the teacher at Michigan High School. Said Madison was far from lifeless. Her mother said she had to be dragged away screaming like a toddler from the sight of her daughter's body. So the scream, she said, could have shattered the glass, ridding her from her daughter's body one day after the shooting. Said she is the light when you need it most. Said of her late daughter, said when the world gets dark, she's the stars. Said Madison is not a statistic, a victim, her mother said. She will be remembered for her name, a name that is loved unconditionally. Some of the victim's relatives spoke directly to Crumbley, telling him the massacre had failed to break them. Still, both victims' relatives and survivors said that their lives have been changed forever. Their days filled with an unending sense of anguish, guilt, and despair. Okay, so this would be the prosecutor woman hugging that Madison girl's mom there. I'm not sure which one is which. I think the one with the paper in her hand is the mother probably, and then this Karen woman is the county prosecutor then in the white. So anyway, said Crumbley pled guilty last year to 1 count of terrorism causing death, a rare conviction in the state court, 4 counts of first-degree murder, and 19 other charges related to the deadly rampage. So the sentencing came less than 2 months after a judge ruled the teen was eligible for the harshest punishment possible in Michigan, noting Crumbley's long obsession with violence made rehabilitation unlikely. Said dozens of survivors of the attack at Oxford High School and family members of those killed delivered victim impact statements for hours before the judge handed down Crumbley's sentence. The case unfolded as school shootings continue to plague America's campuses, blah, 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 according to CNN. So defendant previously admitted in court on November 30th, 2021, when he was 15, he took a gun from an unlocked container in his home, hid it in his backpack, and took it out in a bathroom before opening fire on the classmates. Yeah, and again, just want to point something out, dude. This entire fucking incident could have been stopped had the piece of shit fucking administrators at that school, specifically the dumbass fucking principal and the dumbass fucking RSO, actually been like, hey, Crumbley, open your fucking bag and let us search it, bitch. Or just give us your fucking bag, we're going to search it and dump the motherfucker out. And boom, gun falls on the fucking floor. Bang, fucking shit's done, dude. Arrest the motherfucker on the spot. And the fucking massacre doesn't unfold. But because they're fucking dumb as shit and didn't bother to actually search his fucking shit that day, they should also be held as fucking accessories after the fact because of the fact that they did not stop the fucking massacre from happening to begin with, is what it was, when they could have. But no, this kid and his fucking parents all need to be tried with the same goddamn shit, is what it is. They all need to get life imprisonment at this point, honestly, in history. And if Michigan had a felony murder rule, they'd all be looking at the same fucking charges right now, dude. 100% across the board. So, anyway. It fucking pisses me off, dude, because again, now you have that piece of shit, Whitmer, and all these fucking douchebag anti-gunners over there in Michigan, frothing frothing at the fucking mouth for the last 2 years and using this shit to fucking push more and more gun control when it was already the Gun-Free School Zones Act of 1990 that allowed this fucking massacre to happen to begin with, dude. When you don't have armed teachers, you don't have armed staff doing their fucking jobs in that school system, and then you wonder why this fucking kid's able to go on a massacre then. Something hard to figure out. Honestly, the best thing that could happen in the situation, the second the cops rolled up in there, they should have shot this kid to death on the fucking spot at this point it is, dude. And we would have been so much better off as a country right now. It's exactly what they did here in Dayton, Ohio back in 2019 to fucking kill that piece of shit. Dayton cops rolled up about 45 seconds to a minute later after the massacre started. Bang, 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 killed this motherfucker. That's how every single one of these things go down, man, for real. So, anyway. Let's see here. Going back to this article, though, at hand to finish this off here. It said, navigating our way through complete hell, Buck Meyer, the father of another slain student, Tate Meyer, 16, said his family has spent years navigating our way through complete hell, and Friday's hearing dealt them another hand of heartaches that we'll have to play. So as we navigate these tremendous waters, we try to honor Tate and cause because we know he's looking down on us, and I know he's not very proud of how his dad is handling this, but his dad's fighting, his mom's fighting, and his brothers are fighting. So this family wants the shooter to spend his life rotting in his jail cell. What he stole from us is not replaceable, but what we won't let you steal from us is a life of normalcy, and we'll find a way to get there through forgiveness and through putting good into the world, he said. Said Jill Stove, Justin's mother, told Crumbly that her son would have been your friend if you had only asked him to be. Okay, so Justin was the guy up here. That dude in the top right corner there is what it is. So yeah, that dude would have actually been Crumbly's friend had he actually just been like, hey buddy, I need a friend. So according to what she was saying there, which is probably the truth actually at that point then. Yeah, it said Crumbly caused terror and pain that day, Justin's mom said, but he did not destroy us. The defendant kept his head down as he spoke, said Justin's father, Craig Schrilling, told the court preparing his statement was the hardest thing he'd ever have to write. Said these days there's not too much happiness in the holidays. Birthdays and these milestone days don't carry the special feelings they always used to. So the pain his family endures cannot put into words, said Schrilling, adding he suffers from PTSD and struggles to get out of bed most days. And that's the problem right there entirely, dude. And unfortunately, the sad part is these people, like Justin's father here, are the exact men that pieces of shit like Shannon Watts prey upon, dude. To add them to the ranks of piece of shit anti-gun organizations like Mamas Demand Action and have them fight against people's legal ability to carry guns is what it is in this country. And that's what sickens me the most, honestly, dude, is these are the Doug types that PTSD'd out in the head and stuff like that who want to disarm everybody else then, when in reality, if they want to deal with something, dude, go deal with that fucking piece of shit who killed your kids. What it is, dude. Like that's what honestly bothers me. If you had that many people in that courtroom doing victim impact statements, I can't believe like 10 people did just jump this dude and beat him to death in the fucking courtroom. Honestly, today, dude, I really can't believe that. Honestly, my only guess is they had like so many fucking cops in there is what it was that it wouldn't have been possible. Because truthfully, there should have been a bunch of people just jumping this motherfucker and being done with it, dude. Like just swinging off and doing everything else they could do right now, and just dealing with the fucking problem right then and there is what it is, dude. Eye for an eye shit is what it would be then. So anyway, going back to Craig here. He said anxiety, stress, sleepless nights, and uncontrolled emotional breakdown or heartbreak make even the simplest, most normal things difficult, noting he no longer enjoys the things he used to do with his son, like golfing, kayaking, bowling, and fishing. That's sad, man. Said instead, life is filled with debilitating pain. Craig said, I still find myself waiting up for him to get home from work so we can go get a few minutes to have a chat together. Said Craig asked the court to impose the maximum penalty on a person who lacked human decency, meaning that piece of shit, Crumbly. He said, my son doesn't get a second chance, and neither should Crumbly. Said Hannah's father, Steve St. Julia, said Crumbly could do absolutely nothing to earn his forgiveness for taking away a beautiful, caring soul with unlimited potential. By the way, his daughter was the girl up here in the far or upper left corner there. So, anyway, let's see where's that now. Okay. Yeah, he said his daughter had limited potential. His age plays no part. His potential is relevant, is what Hannah's father Steve said. So there's utterly nothing that he could ever do to contribute to society that could make up for the lives that he has ruthlessly taken. Said Rena St. Julia lamented not being able to go thrifting, so thrift shopping, I'm guessing what it is, with her daughter, with her sister, Hannah, helping each other remember songs, taking walks together, etc. So instead of speaking at her wedding, I spoke at her funeral. Instead of fishtailing her hair for a game, I curled her hair in a casket, she said. Serena St. Julia also read a statement from her mother. Said, now, in my daily life, whenever I see a pair of sisters, I'm sad. When I see other siblings getting along, I'm sad. When I see other mothers and daughters, I'm sad. When I see other families having a good time, I'm sad. When I see others her age having fun, I'm sad. Every day, every moment, every experience, I think of Hannah and I'm sad. Their family is, quote, surviving, the statement said, but not living. And that's the problem right there, dude. You're in this constant flux of just emotional bullshit is what it is, dude, because this piece of crap is what it is. Said, I am the writer of my own story. Survivors also shared their pain. Molly Darnell, an educator who was shot that day, told Crumbly he did not have the power to destroy who I am. I'm the writer of my own story, she said. Life in prison without parole is the appropriate sentence, is what she claimed there. And she said, you intended to leave my husband a widow and my children motherless. There is no forgiveness for you, but I have found that I do not need to forgive you to live a life full of kindness and compassion for both myself and others, said Oxford High student Kylie Osage. Told the court that school day started like any other, and then she heard what sounded like a balloon popping. She recalled falling to the ground and hearing screams. People were running. She realized she had been shot. I thought I was going to die, Osage said. Her legs weren't moving. Under her cheek, the blood-soaked carpet felt warm and made a squishing sound. She realized Hannah was groaning nearby. Someone will come help us. She told her dying classmate, don't worry, just keep breathing. Just please stay with me. Osage repeated her mother's phone number and solved math problems in her head to make sure my brain was functioning, she said. That's what kept her alive. Said Riley Fritz, another survivor who was wounded, said she mourns the person I used to be. Now when I sit at a school, I feel anxious, checking for all the exits, highly in tune with all the movements inside and outside the classroom, flinching at every sound from the walking upstairs to a pencil dropping and counting down the minutes until I feel like I can breathe again, she said. That is 100% what PTSD feels like, by the way. I can tell you that firsthand, dude. That girl is 100% in a post-traumatic stress disorder issues right now, and that's unfortunate. Says Keenan Gregory, who was trapped in a bathroom at one point with the shooter, and Justin Shrilling recalled his classmate getting shot and, quote, I couldn't do anything about it. I felt then, like I feel now, the guilt of surviving. So that guy has survivor's remorse is what it is. Said, I know that if it wasn't Justin's life that was taken, it could have been mine, and I'm forever grateful, said Madeline Johnson. Recalled walking with Madison, her best friend, the morning of the shooting. They split to go to class. They said goodbye and parted ways. I didn't think that the bye was going to be permanent. Sad. So the gunfire erupted. The pattern of shots plays out in Johnson's head every day, she said. She blames herself for leaving her best friend that day. Then we got Crumbley's parents await criminal trial as well. They still haven't prosecuted is what it is, but they will be hopefully at some point here is what it is, though. So, yeah. Because obviously you got James Crumbley purchasing the gun using the attack just 4 days before the deadly attack happened, September. When Judge Rowe ruled Crumbley was eligible for life sentence without parole, the judge noted that the teen's unstable family environment and the failure of his parents to take his mental health seriously. So, but Rowe called the defendant the sole participant in the mass shooting, methodically walking through the school, picking and choosing who was going to die, and determined to, quote, kill the innocent. The judge cited Crumbley's disturbing writings and documented violence against animals. So this kid's literally a fucking sociopath. That's what it is. They're talking about right now, dude. And again, give him the death penalty, people. Even if you don't fucking have one, make that shit federal and give him the fucking federal death penalty. That's what it is, for God's sakes. So, anyway. So, Oakland County prosecutor and Crumbley's defense team presented evidence over the summer at a so-called Miller hearing required when prosecutors seek a life sentence without the possibility of parole for a minor defendant. Then it goes on from there. But yeah, it's just fucking pisses me off. It really does. It's fucking ridiculous is what it is. Again, doesn't need to be, man. Doesn't need to be. It's as simple as simply having death penalties on the books right now and dealing what needs to be dealt with accordingly with these little fuckers is what it is, dude. And if you're going to be a psychotic lunatic, you don't need to be alive anymore, dude. So, I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, yeah, he's going to be in prison the rest of his life, but, like, I don't know. Maybe it'll be like that one piece of shit that kidnapped those girls in Cleveland years ago where they found him, like, hanging in his own cell, if that'd be the case then, supposedly jerking himself off then, which I'm pretty sure it was just cops hanging his ass in there is what it was then, so... Or CEOs, or we're going to call them there, is what it'll be then. So, I don't know, man. Maybe. Yeah. He'll be found like Errol Castro or something like that, or maybe he'll just get shaken in the fucking shower, so it does then, man. And life will be better off then, without that piece of crap in the world is what it is then. So, anyway. I don't know, man. So, but yeah, it's just, yeah, I was having a conversation with somebody here on Discord about what this kid looks like. The one kid said he looks like somebody from the Dire Won't Be Kid type of book series, TV series, whatever you call it there. And I was like, nah, he looks like a Ted Bundy type, actually. And that's the truth at the end of the day, man. Like, the kid does. He looks like fucking nuts, dude, is what it is. So, I don't know, man. Life is fucked up. It always seems to be the worst ones are the ones that just, don't get killed in prison. So. Oh, shit. Ryan O'Neal, Farrah Fawcett's husband and lifelong partner. Or just lifelong partner, doesn't say husband, but I don't know if they were married or not at one point. Died today at the age of 82, apparently. That sucks. So. Yeah, I was checking, randomly checking New York Post here, what it was, and yeah, it was a top story going on right now. So, that's too bad, man. Seems like a good guy. Seems like a good dude. Actually, this one's also super fucked up, going back to the just remorseless killer kind of thing is what it is here. I'm not going to dwell on this one too much, but I do want to mention this is what it is here. So you got, I am heartbroken. Young daughter of man shot in the head in New York City diner doesn't know about shooting. His weeping mother says. So yeah, you literally had this piece of shit criminal go into New York City diner the other day, demand cash from the people as it was there, and then as he was about to walk out the door, this guy here is like, dude, just leave kind of thing or whatever the case be, and he just blows his fucking brains out right there. So fucking ridiculous entirely, dude. And then going back to their New York Post thing about Crumbley, there's what it is. Let's see. Yeah, continues to say, Let's see, gun done 4 students, 2021 has been sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole Friday. So the head of sentencing, 17-year-old, acknowledged that he was a really bad person. I'm a really bad person. I've done terrible things that no one should ever do, et cetera, et cetera. Just looks like a punk ass bitch, dude. So Crumbly, who was 15 at the time of the shooting, opened fire at Oxford High School outside Detroit, November 30th, 2021. So just over 2 years ago is what it was now. Killing 4 students: Madison Baldwin, 17, Tate Meyer, 16, Hannah St. Julia, 14, and Justin Schrilling, 17. Said 7 others were wounded, including a teacher. Pled guilty last October, et cetera, et cetera. There's this Buck, that's the Tate's dad, Buck, right there that we were talking about earlier in the other article. And you got piece of shit Crumbly trying to fire the gun. Literal image of him holding the fucking gun that his daddy bought him. First of all, what kind of dumbass gives a 15-year-old a fucking handgun, dude, as a Christmas present? Especially when you know your son's a fucking psychotic lunatic. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the fucking piece of shit parents who already had multiple domestic incidents themselves and multiple misdemeanor charges on their own fucking criminal records, who are literally sleeping around with other people instead of actually paying attention to what the fuck their goddamn son was doing. Is what it was, dude. You had mom fucking around with some coworker guy. You had dad fucking around with some whores or whatever the fuck it was there, and not paying attention. They're just a bunch of dumbasses. Is what it is, dude. Like I said, Scott White's piece of shit parents need to get the exact same fucking charge he did in life prison. Is what it is, then, man. Okay, this is that Kylie girl who was the Hannah's older sister. Is what it was there. Yeah, this girl's unfortunately got PTSD the rest of her life now. Is what it is. Just sad, man. Just sad. This is attorney Vern Johnson, who represents the 4 deceased victims, called Friday's ruling a pivotal step towards justice for our clients and all survivors. So despite the 2-year ordeal, the gravity of the situation endures, and this sentencing was a critical stride towards accountability. We wholeheartedly support Judge Rowe's decision to condemn Crumbly to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the day, though. I ain't got much else than that, man. And I got some stuff I got to do, so I will be. I was hoping Corey would be on tonight, but apparently he's not. So anyway, but yeah, we'll be back here in probably tomorrow afternoon, I'm guessing, for Stand Your Ground Saturday, where we discuss some various things about some stuff and go from there. Sorry, I was looking at memes of some chick breastfeeding her child with a boob that's all covered in tattoos and then just having like blue mouth. This is kind of fucked up. It's kind of true though, man. Honestly, like, I don't understand why women do that to themselves, dude. Like, you have a perfectly great looking body. Why would you ever get like a bunch of tit and chest tattoos? It's just stupid, honestly. Like, you're just ruining God's perfect image is what it is there. So, anyway. Needless to say, though, my best advice to people is homeschool your kids. Because you never know if some psycho lunatic is going to be allowed out into the fucking streets is what it is, dude, and be able to go do another school shooting is what it is there. Or some other massacre in life, whatever the case be. And if that be the case, make sure your kids are not a bunch of psychos, and if they are, take care of the situation properly and get them the help they need is what it is, man. Whether that be an institution or someplace else for that matter. And don't allow them to have fucking access to firearms is what it is, dude, or any other fucking weapon for that matter. Because you never know. You never know if they're going to be the one that goes all psycho and shit. So, anyway. That being said, that's where I'm at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, I'll see you all tomorrow for Stand Your Ground Saturday, where we discuss various topics of the day as it will be. Go into a little more detail on some stuff and whatnot, and then go to some other things, do some other things as it will be. So other than that, though, that's what we're at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you all on the next one. Make sure you are always carry one in the chamber, and be your own first responder, because when you need the cops, they're always minutes to hours away, and you never know what's going to happen between then and now. And you may have to defend yourself versus not just one, but multiple violent armed criminals, and it's as simple as that. So yeah, be prepared for that and be ready for that, etc. Have a good one, y'all. Later.